Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stories with me, Jesse. And today we're once again visiting Reddit/tifu, or Today I Fudged Up, for some truly embarrassing stories of people who made some boneheaded mistakes. Let me know what you think of these stories in the comments, as well as any suggestions you might have that we may just use in a future installment. Brace yourselves for some epic fudge-ups, cause we're getting started now. Our first story is titled, Today I Fudged Up by Eating Mysterious Chocolates from the Fridge. This morning, I uncharacteristically slept in and woke up at 8 a.m. to my fiance and the two roommates hanging out over coffee, preparing for the day. On this rare occasion, everyone was scheduled to leave the house all at the same time, except for myself. Everyone leaves and I start cleaning house, buzzing around, listening to music, and generally enjoying the time alone. I decide at one point to detail my car. It's around 1 p.m. I'm supposed to be meeting my fiance in just a few hours, and have just enough time to thoroughly pamper my car. I run inside to grab a refreshing beverage and spot a tasty chocolate snack in the fridge. Commence fudge up. I decide eating one of the two somewhat wonky looking chocolates that were nestled into the butter compartment in the fridge couldn't cause too much harm. I left one of them, plus they look like maybe they were just a lost and sad chocolate, forgotten in a pocket on a hot day. No one would miss them too much. I continue cleaning my car and start getting ready to run to town and meet up with fiance in just a little over an hour. I start noticing how lovely everything is and slowed my roll with detailing my car, look out into the woods, and start noticing that it seems like the trees are breathing. Colors are more vibrant than typical, and I just feel like laying down and enjoying my cozy bed for a minute. It's about then that I start questioning the mystery chocolate. I run upstairs to lay down for a quick minute. I pull my phone out to text my fiance about the chocolate and notice that the letters of my keyboard are wiggling and wandering around on the screen. Text the fiance to figure out what they were. Hey babe, what are these chocolates in the fridge?
Huh?
Did I just dose myself with something?
Oh no! Did you eat both of them? You just ate a 1/8 of shrooms. Get comfortable.
Luckily, they weren't as strong as I expected, but still spent the greater portion of the day wandering around the house admiring various different aspects of life and reality. TLDR, left alone at home on rare occasion, ate mystery chocolate from the fridge, and ended up dosing myself with mushroom chocolates. Oh no! If these chocolates were hidden away and didn't quite look right, I'd be a little wary about just throwing them down the old hatch. But man, you must have thought you just scored a forgotten treat. At least you didn't have a bad trip, and you probably gained a newfound appreciation for the world around you. Trippy. Moving on, our next story is called Today I Fudged Up by Laughing at My Kid's Cuss Word. We're driving home and it's dead silent. My 3-year-old says,
Fucking pickle.
My husband and I both pause because we aren't quite sure if we heard what we think we heard. My 5-year-old says,
Mom, he said fucking pickle.
My husband scolds them both and tells them it's a bad word like the responsible parent he is. I held it in for a minute, but eventually completely lost it. I laughed so hard. The kids said,
What, Mom?
And I didn't want them to think I was laughing because they cussed. So my quick-minded solution was to tell them I was crying.
Why, Mom? Why are you crying?
And I couldn't think of anything, so I told them I was really hungry. So the kids comforted me the entire way home because I was crying because I was hungry. And now the only thing I can think about is that one day they're going to be driving in their car, telling their significant other about that one time their mom got so hungry she cried. TLDR, my kids cussed and I laughed, but lied and told them I was crying because I was hungry. Now they're consoling me. Wow. That is truly hilarious to think about, and even though I don't feel it's appropriate for small children to swear like that, it's honestly a very cute fudge-up imagining your kids trying to comfort your sadness, when in reality you were laughing your ass off. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Our next story is called Today I Fudged Up by ignoring the pain and swelling in my testicles, and as a result, I now only have one ball. This rather unfortunate incident happened a couple of years ago when I was 15 and was still embarrassed and shy. One day, I woke up in the morning to find out that I can't even walk because of intense pain and swelling in my scrotum. One of my balls was swollen badly. Now, normally I guess people would straight up visit a doctor for advice, but I instead told my parents that I have a bad stomach ache. I was too embarrassed to tell the truth. Took some painkillers, the pain went away, but the swelling remained. I figured that it was a normal condition, and the swelling would simply go away in a few hours. Well, it didn't go away the next day. The pain had somewhat reduced, and I foolishly still didn't tell anyone. Took another painkiller. After spending another day awkwardly in pain, I finally told my parents about my nutsack on the third day. We immediately visited the hospital, where the doctor informed me to my horror that it was a case of testicular torsion, in which your testicle basically twists, thereby cutting the blood supply to it. It's not a very serious condition. If we had come in earlier, he could have treated it simply by rotating the ball by his hand, but now an operation was needed. Well, I was operated on, my nutsack was cut open, and the surgeon rotated the swelled testicle to its normal position. He informed us that there was a 50% chance that the testicle would survive, otherwise it would die. Unfortunately, in the end, it couldn't survive. It breathed its last a few days later, and shrunk to the size of a peanut. It's still there, but it's so small and shrunk that you cannot see or feel it. It's dead. I can have it removed by having another operation, but chose not to because the previous operation was hell. It took me weeks to comfortably walk again. TLDR, had pain and swelling in my scrotum, ignored it out of embarrassment. As a result, I had to go through an operation and in the end lost one of my balls. I had a case of testicular torsion and now I only have one ball. Yikes. Let this be a lesson, kids. Don't ignore genital pain, as one of your testicles might just shrivel up like a prune. I don't think that anybody actually enjoys a trip to the hospital, but ignoring pain like this is never the right move, and, I think I'll be having sympathy pains for weeks to come. Our next story is titled, Today I Fudged Up by Eating a Prize I Won at a Baby Shower. Before the pandemic, I was invited to a baby shower. It was a co-ed baby shower, and I'm a man. There were some fun games and prizes given out. I managed to snag a prize for winning the diaper changing game, on dolls of course, since speed was necessary, which was a nice glass mug that had assorted candy and other things in there. Of those things was a big green piece of candy I'd never seen before, but I didn't think much of it. I also didn't think much about a piece of paper that was in the top of the mug that looked to be a sort of thanks for attending type thing, so I tossed it. I came home and let it sit on top of my dresser and collect a bit of dust, since I don't eat a lot of candy these days, but I occasionally take out a small piece or two. Well, recently I had a big sugar craving, and I decided to take out the big green candy piece. I took a sniff of it, and it had a sort of green apple scent, which made sense. The texture was something similar to those other types of pill candies that are made from compressed powder, kinda like Smarties or bottle caps, but this thing was the size of a baseball at least, so I figured it was some sort of jawbreaker or something. It was in clear plastic with no description, but since it smelled fruity, I unwrapped the plastic and took a big lick. A feeling of absolute dread spread through my body as my tongue fizzled and sputtered with an absolutely horrid flavor. It was like sour tartness mixed with disappointment and fear. I quickly spat it out and went to wash my mouth out, throwing the green ball in the garbage. Today I spoke to my friend on the phone who'd helped organize the baby shower and had put together all the prizes. I told her that either the big green ball candy had gone bad, or she'd purchased a bad batch, and asked what in the heck it was supposed to be anyway. My friend grew really silent for a moment and said, ...
That was a bath bomb.
She then proceeded to tell me that if I'd read the little paper insert that was in each cup prize that I'd neglected, it would have told me it was a bath bomb. I, of course, had never actually held a bath bomb before, let alone use one, but I know for sure now that they don't taste too great. TLDR, I licked a bath bomb because my fat ass thought it was candy. Oh, that is gross. I'm relieved that you just licked it, instead of taking a big old bite out of it, and I'm totally shocked that you've never seen a bath bomb before, but can understand that since it was thrown into a small mound of candy, you came to the conclusion that everything in there must be edible. Hopefully you've learned from this experience. Our final story is called, Today I Fudged Up by Leaving My Room Window Open and Nearly Costing My 2-year-old Brother His Life. For context, we live in an 8-story flat on the 3rd floor. So, earlier this afternoon, I, 16 male, was minding my own business in my room on my phone. The past few days have been very hot where I live, around 30 degrees Celsius on average, so I left my window open and didn't shut my door. My baby brother was playing with his toys in the hallway and didn't seem to have a care in the world. My mom called me to prepare a lunch since she was quite ill that day, and I obliged. So I was busy boiling the pasta and making the sauce when my gut instinct told me to just peek out to the hallway. I checked and he wasn't there. Probably watching TV or something, I thought, and I didn't think much of it. I was about to return to my duty when I froze in my tracks. You ever get that sick feeling that twists your gut so hard, you know for a fact something so horrible and catastrophic is about to happen? In that instant, I found myself teleporting right outside my room, and there he was by the window. He somehow used my bed to climb onto the heater and sit down near the edge of the window. The upper half of his body was dangling out, and he was busy throwing his toys and being fascinated at how far they can fall and break. He was this close to falling to his death, crushing all of his fragile bones. Without thinking, I quickly grabbed him and put him out of harm's way, and I started hugging him tight while cursing myself repeatedly. My mom was oblivious to what was going on the entire time. I shut the window, closed my room, and sat him down with me. While I resumed making lunch, I was in shock. My brother could have died today, all because of one stupid mistake I've made. Even though I've saved him, I still feel sick and disgusted at myself, and this whole incident is playing on loop in my mind currently. TLDR, made a huge mistake leaving my window open. When I was asked to make lunch, my brother somehow got to the window and nearly fell out. Good lord, this one made my heart stop for a minute. There are very few things that genuinely terrify me, but a small child being in real danger like this is one of them. The fact that you're beating yourself up so much about it proves that you really care, and although something absolutely devastating could have happened, thank the stars above that it didn't, and hold on to your little brother tightly. What did you guys think of this story, or any of today's in general? I always love to hear your thoughts and welcome you to provide your own opinions below. We're almost at 500 subscribers, and I am so thankful that this channel we've started is blossoming into something truly special. If you'd like to show some love and support, please consider sharing these stories with anyone who you think might enjoy them. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for tuning in with me, Jesse. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and check out what other stories I have for you. I hope each and every one of you has a great day ahead. Try and think things through before you do something stupid, but we're all human, so sometimes there's no avoiding a tifu moment. I'll catch you in the next one.